This tool is awesome. It crawls your website and finds all kinds of little things that you need to fix.
Yeah.
And then take all that data and send it straight to your Google Drive.
Straight to the cloud.
Straight to the cloud. I love it.
So you can get to work immediately.
Yeah, so let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
First things first, you download Screaming Frog.
Right.
Super easy to find.
Yep.
And then you open it up.
Okay.
And right away, this guide is telling us we got to set our crawl limits.
Fire up Screaming Frog and head over to the configuration menu.
Yeah, that's right. That configuration menu, it's kind of like our control center for like setting up the whole website crawl, before we actually let loose.
Right.
And, one of the first things we need to do is set some crawl limits.
Check.
Now, another thing this guide really emphasizes is making sure you set the user agent to Googlebot smartphone.
Now, why would we do that?
Well, you want to see your website.
Yeah.
Like Google sees it, right?
I guess so. I mean, who else would I want to see it as?
You know what I mean? Like you want to see it how they see it.
Right. Yeah.
And now the guide is telling us to save this configuration.
As a profile. Interesting.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do it again.
So we don't have to do it again every single time. Genius.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so now things get really exciting.
Ooh, I love exciting.
Because we can schedule these crawls in advance.
Wait, so I don't have to manually do this every time?
No, you don't.
This thing can run on its own.
You can set it and forget it. It's like having your very own SEO robot working for you around the clock.
I love that. It's so true. Like before I started scheduling my crawls, I always felt like I was, playing catch up.
Yeah.
I was always behind on my audits. But now that it's automated, I can really dive into analyzing the data.
Totally.
I can actually strategize. Yeah. It's been, honestly, a total game changer.
Yeah, this is like a power user tip today, I think.
Yeah, power user tip for Screaming Frog. That should help you save some time.
Exactly.
So you can focus on the other important things you got going on.
Yeah.
So the source material we're looking at today is actually talking about using Screaming Frog specifically for scheduling and exporting data.
Right.
So, we all have Google Drive these days.
Very much.
And Google Drive is just a fantastic place to store your data.
Right.
And especially if you're doing, lots of SEO audits, you're going to end up with a lot of data and you want to keep it organized.
Yeah.
And so the idea here is that Screaming Frog can automatically crawl your website on a regular basis and then export that data directly to your Google Drive.
Right into a nice organized spreadsheet.
Yeah. And so we're going to walk you through that today.
Perfect.
So the source we're looking at kind of jumps right into step 6, which is setting up scheduling for crawls exports and file management.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, skip the scheduling thing, and I think that's a mistake.
Yeah, big mistake.
Big mistake.
It's so convenient to have these reports just
automatically show up.
Like
then you drive.
Yeah, so we're going to walk you through how to do it.
Okay.
So first you're going to go to File and then Scheduling.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
And then that's where all the fun begins.
Yeah, and this is under Configuration.
All right.
Right. In Screaming Frog.
Yeah.
So you open up Scheduling, and then the first thing you see is the General tab.
Right.
And this is where you set the frequency for your crawl.
Yep.
So you could choose daily, weekly, or monthly.
Sweet spot for most people.
I think weekly is great.
Yeah.
Unless you're, maybe working on a really big site or something.
Right.
You might need to do it more often.
Yeah. Or if you're running tests or, making lots of changes, you might want to do it daily.
Right.
But I think for most people, weekly is a good cadence.
I agree.
So once you've set your schedule, then you want to go to the Export tab.
Right.
And that's where you can configure what data you want to actually export from Screaming Frog.
Okay, so the Export tab, this is really, really important because this is where you get to choose, like I said, which data is going to get sent to your Google Drive. Right. And you can export, tons of different reports.
Oh, yeah, you can go crazy with it.
Yeah, I go crazy.
That's where you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, you don't want to just have like a million files in your Google Drive.
Right.
So what we recommend focusing on is the bulk export reports.
Yeah, bulk exports are awesome.
Yeah. So and you can find a video on Screaming Frog's website that kind of walks you through all the different bulk export options.
Perfect.
But I think the most important one is the error reports.
Okay.
Right? Because at the end of the day, what you're really trying to do with these audits is
you're trying to find problems. So you can fix them.
Exactly. So you can prioritize the most important things to fix.
So error reports, This is a great way to just get a quick overview of any major issues that are happening on your website.
Yeah, exactly. And, it'll show you things like broken links,
right.
Slow loading pages, any kind of like crawl errors.
Yeah, anything that's going to prevent Google from indexing your site properly.
Exactly.
Okay,
perfect. So once you've selected your bulk exports, then you need to choose where you want to export them to.
Right.
And so you can just use the drop-down menu and select Google Sheets.
Okay.
And that will automatically create a new spreadsheet in your Google Drive.
Perfect.
With all the data from your crawl.
And I love that it's all organized into spreadsheets because you can really dig in and slice and dice that data.
You can use all the cool Google Sheets formulas and stuff.
Exactly.
And then the last thing is to enable the overwrite existing files option.
Okay.
And this is really important because
it's clean.
It keeps things clean.
Yeah.
You don't want to have like a million versions of the same report.
Exactly.
So if you enable that option, then each time you run a crawl, it will just overwrite the previous report.
Perfect.
So you always have the latest data.
I love that.
Nice and organized.
So we've covered setting up the schedule, choosing your bulk exports,
right,
sending them to your Google Drive, keeping everything nice and neat.
Yep.
What else? Anything else we should know?
One more thing I would say is don't forget to save your crawl data locally as well.
Okay. So you can also save it locally.
Yeah.
So this would be on your own computer.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's always good to have a backup.
Right.
But also lets you compare different crawls over time.
That's interesting.
So, if you're making changes to your website, you can see how those changes are affecting your SEO.
Oh, I see.
And you can do that by comparing the crawl data from before and after you made the changes.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So to save your crawl data locally, you'll go to Local File Exports and then Save Crawl.
Okay. Local File Exports, Save Crawl. Got it.
Okay. And then you can just choose where you want to save it on your computer.
Perfect.
And then you're good to go.
So that's it. That's all you got to do.
Pretty much.
But the thing is, it's such a time saver.
Right.
Because once you set this up, you don't have to think about it again.
You just let Screaming Frog do its thing.
Exactly. Screaming Frog will just do his thing, and you'll have all this great data in your fingertips.
And then you can focus on the important stuff, like analyzing the data.
Right, and actually fixing the problems.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Okay. So we've connected the APIs. We've got this mountain of data pouring in. But how do we actually make sense of it? It sounds kind of overwhelming.
Right. So that's where automated reports come in. Screaming Frog can automatically generate reports for you, like internal HTML and external HTML reports.
Okay, so let's break those reports down. I mean, for someone who's like, okay, I'm intrigued, I'm interested, but I don't really know what those reports are. Tell me what I can expect.
Yeah. So the internal HTML report, think of it as like a blueprint of your website. So you can see like broken links, or you can see pages that aren't linked to anywhere else on your site and fix those issues that could impact your SEO.
Got it. So it's kind of looking inward at your site, like how are things structured? What's going on?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So what about that external HTML?
So
what even is an external link?
So basically an external link is when you are on a website.
Okay.
And you click on a link that takes you to another website.
Okay.
So it's a link that's leaving that domain.
Like if I'm on Wikipedia.
Yes.
And then there's a link to the EPA website.
Yeah.
That would be an external link.
Exactly.
This is where it gets really exciting, I think, for folks like me who are all about that Google Drive life, right? Bulk export.
Yeah.
That's a game changer, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, break down bulk export, what that means, and why we should be so excited about it.
So bulk export is going to save you a ton of time, right? Because instead of manually copying and pasting all the data into spreadsheets, you can use bulk export to send all that data straight to your Google Drive.
Okay.
It's organized and ready to be analyzed in tools like Hobo SEO.
Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because I literally used to spend hours, okay, download the report, pull it into a spreadsheet, try to make sense of it, clean it up, all that stuff. And it sounds like bulk export just eliminates all of that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So we've gone from this basic Screaming Frog crawl to this fully automated data-driven SEO powerhouse. And it really makes you think, what other parts of our SEO workflow can we kind of streamline and apply this same mindset to, right?
Definitely. I mean, you can automate so much in SEO.
Right.
And that frees up a ton of your time to work on things that require, more creativity and strategic thinking, like creating good content and building relationships.
I love that. And that's really the ultimate goal here, right? It's not just
Yeah.
about automation for automation's sake. It's about freeing up our time and energy to focus on the things that really move the needle.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm seriously fired up about this whole automation thing.
Me too.
I think we've uncovered some real gems here today.
Yeah, I hope so.
Definitely. So, listeners, think about this. What parts of your SEO workflows are you still doing manually that could be automated? A really clear picture of your site's health without, staying up all night crunching numbers.
Nice.
We're going to be looking at how Screaming Frog, Google Drive, and these cool tools, Hobo SEO Dashboard and Hobo SF, all work together.
Awesome.
Ready to kind of unravel this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like having this super efficient team of SEO detectives working behind the scenes, uncovering all those little details that can make or break your website's performance.
So let's start with Screaming Frog. For those who haven't met this little digital critter before, it's a website crawler. It goes through your site, clicking every link, collecting tons of SEO data.
Yeah, so imagine like a spider meticulously weaving a web through your entire website, like mapping out every single page and element.
Right.
And what's really neat is that Screaming Frog can automatically export all that data, to Google Drive. So it's taking that raw data and turning it into something we can actually use.
Okay. Google Drive, our familiar friend. So it acts like the central hub, holding all the intel gathered by Screaming Frog. This is where Hobo SEO Dashboard and Hobo SF come in, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
These tools are like expert analysts, right?
Yep.
Sifting through that data, pulling out the most important insights. And one of the key things they do is identify underperforming pages. These are pages that aren't attracting much traffic or engagement.
Right.
Which could mean, they're not optimized for search engines.
It's like finding those dusty corners of a library that nobody visits anymore.
Yeah.
I can see how that would be a problem. So how do these Hobo tools help us figure out why a page is underperforming?
Well, they take a multifaceted approach. They can pinpoint technical issues like broken links, which are a big no-no for both search engines and users. Imagine clicking a link and getting a 404 error. That's frustrating, right?
Yeah.
Search engines see this as a sign of like a poorly maintained website.
Yeah.
And it can really hurt your rankings.
Right. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's like hitting a dead end on a road trip. And what about those server errors, the 500s? I've seen those pop up occasionally, and they always make me kind of nervous.
Right. Those are definitely something you want to address quickly. They indicate a problem with your server, and just like broken links, they can negatively impact both user experience and your SEO.
Yeah.
Hobo SF can flag these right away so you can get them fixed, before they cause too much damage.
Okay, so broken links and server errors, those are definitely things to avoid. Our source recommends setting this to 10,000 pages. What do you think about that? Is there a reason for that specific number?
Well, imagine trying to eat an entire cake in one go. You'd probably get a stomachache, right?
Yeah, probably not the best idea.
It's the same with Screaming Frog. We need to give it manageable chunks of your website to chew on. For most sites, 10,000 pages is a sweet spot. It gives you a comprehensive overview without overloading the tool.
That makes a lot of sense. So we're giving Screaming Frog a taste of the website, not the whole buffet.
Exactly, and you can automate all of this.
Amazing. And then all of this stuff is going right to my Google Sheet?
Yes, it is.
No more manual copying and pasting.
Exactly.
I love it.
And once it's in Google Sheets, there's so much you can do.
Oh, yeah.
You can manipulate the data. You can create custom formulas. You can even link it to other marketing tools.
Wow, that's really taking it to the next level.
It is. You're turning this raw data into actionable insights.
So it's about way more than just saving time.
It is.
This is about really getting a deep understanding of what's going on.
Absolutely.
So we can make better SEO decisions.
You can visualize trends. You can see where the problems are. You can track your progress.
Love that.
And Screaming Frog has this option to overwrite existing files.
Okay.
So every time it runs, you're getting the newest data.
So you're always working with the latest and greatest.
Exactly. Think about how you browse the web. Chances are you're on your phone, right?
Pretty much all the time.
Exactly. And you know what? Google knows that too. In fact, they now primarily use your site's mobile version for ranking.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So by using Googlebot Smartphone as our user agent, We're basically seeing our website exactly how Google sees it.
That is so smart. So we're making sure that we're optimizing for what really matters.
Absolutely. We're speaking Google's language, so to speak.
Now let's get to the really cool part, configuration profiles. We can actually save all our settings so we don't have to repeat this whole process every single time. Talk about a time saver.
It's a game changer, especially if you're managing multiple websites or running regular audits. It just streamlines the whole process. And if you want even more control, you can even create custom configurations. So you can adjust the crawl depth, set up specific filters, even extract custom data.
So we're basically creating our perfect SEO audit recipe that we can use again and again.
Precisely. Once you've found what works for you, you can just save it as a profile and apply it to any website you're analyzing.
All right, so we've got our crawl limit set, our user agent picked, and our custom configuration saved. But we don't want to have to manually run this every time, right?
Absolutely not. And we don't have to. This is where the real magic of automation comes in.
I love it. So tell me, how do we get Screaming Frog to do all the heavy lifting for us?
It's actually super simple. We just need to set up a schedule. You can choose to run your audits daily, weekly, or monthly, whatever works best for you.
Wow. So imagine this. You wake up in the morning, grab your coffee, and boom, fresh SEO insights delivered right to your inbox. Talk about starting your day off right.
It's like having your own personal SEO assistant working around the clock.
This is amazing. But you know what would make it even more amazing?
Let me guess, even more automation.
You read my mind. The source mentions something about API integration with tools like Google Search Console and Analytics.
APIs, those sound a little complicated.
I was thinking the same thing. What exactly are they and how do they help us take our SEO audits to the next level?
Well, think of APIs like secret handshakes between different tools. By connecting Screaming Frog to your Google Search Console and Analytics, you're letting them share data, talk to each other.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this could be. But can you give me a concrete example of how this would actually work in practice?
Sure. Imagine Screaming Frog is crawling your site, and it finds a bunch of broken links, those pesky 404 errors. Now, on its own, that's useful information. But by connecting to Google Analytics, we can see how much traffic those broken links are actually costing you.
So we're not just identifying problems, we're actually seeing their real-world impact. That's incredible.
Exactly. It's all about turning data into actionable insights.
This is mind-blowing. Okay, we've got all this data coming in. Now, what do we do with it?
Time for export options. The source recommends Google Sheets. They're perfect for collaboration and sharing. And with the override option enabled, your reports will always be up to date.
Love that. Always having the latest information at my fingertips. The source also mentioned saving crawl data locally. Why would we do that?
It's like having a time machine for your website's SEO. You can go back, compare past crawls to current ones, and see exactly how changes you've made have affected your site over time.
A time machine? I like the sound of that. So we've got Google Sheets for up-to-the-minute reports and local storage for historical view. What kind of reports can we automate?
Well, two key reports you'll want to focus on are the crawl overview and the issues overview.
And what kind of SEO gold will we find in these reports?
Oh, all sorts of things. Broken links like we talked about, missing meta descriptions, slow loading pages, you name it. Screaming Frog will flag them all.
So Screaming Frog is like this amazing detective that sniffs out all the hidden problems on our website.
Exactly. It's your SEO sidekick, always on the lookout for ways to improve your site.
This is incredible. And the best part, all this data, all these reports, they all get neatly organized in Google Drive. Easy to access, easy to share. It's a dream come true.
I know, right? It's amazing how accessible all of this is. Straight to Google Sheets, I know.
Collaboration heaven.
So easy to share with your team.
With clients, with everybody.
Easy to collaborate on.
And it's all automatically updated too, right?
It's automatically updated because it's connected to all those live sources.
This is incredible.
I know, and we're not even done yet.
Wait, there's more?
There's more.
Get me.
We're going to talk about automated reports.
Automated reports, okay.
So this guide is highlighting two key reports.
Okay, all righty.
The crawl overview
Okay.
and the issues overview.
Crawl overview and issues overview.
The crawl overview basically just shows you all the status codes for every page on your website.
So like the 200s, the 404s, that kind of thing.
Exactly. The 200s, the 404s.
So what's the big deal with those?
Well, they're super important because those codes tell you if a page is working or not.
So like a 200 means everything's good to go?
Everything's good to go.
The page is loading properly?
But a 404,
That's bad news.
that's bad news. That means it's a broken link.
And users are going to hit a dead end.
Exactly. And Google does not like that.
Google does not like dead ends.
So this report helps you find all those broken links.
So you can fix them.
So that's the crawl overview.
Okay, crawl overview. We got it.
And then we've got the issues overview.
Okay, so what does this one tell us?
This one's really cool because it highlights all kinds of technical SEO problems.
Technical SEO problems like what?
Like missing meta descriptions,
Okay.
canonical tag issues,
Right.
slow loading pages.
Oh, slow loading pages. That's a big one.
Huge. And, Google's getting really picky about that these days.
People have no patience anymore. And with the override existing files feature, we can always be sure we're working with the most up-to-date information.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about efficiency, right?
Yeah.
And clarity.
Exactly. Speaking of clarity, let's talk reports.
Okay, yeah.
We can automate the generation of crawl overview and issues overview reports.
We've got all our data. We've got our reports.
Yep.
What do we do next?
Well, according to this guide, we should be connecting Screaming Frog to our Google Drive.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Why is that so important?
Well, think about it. All those reports.
Yeah.
All that raw data. You want to save all that,
We
right?
definitely wouldn't want to lose all that hard work.
And you want it to be organized.
Organized and easy to access.
And easy to access.
Especially if I need to go back and compare it to older crawls.
Exactly. So connecting it to Google Drive.
Makes it so easy.
It just automatically saves everything.
Automatically.
In your drive.
Love it.
It's so simple.
So I can share it with anyone I need to.
Share it with clients. Share it with your team.
This guide is a lifesaver. I never knew Screaming Frog could do all of this.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So powerful.
It's like having a whole SEO team working behind the scenes.
Okay, so that sinking feeling when you realize your website's SEO needs work, but the thought of doing a manual audit feels about as appealing as like stepping on a Lego.
Ouch. I feel that it's one of those essential but tedious tasks.
Right?
They can easily eat up hours of your time.
Exactly. But what if I told you there are tools out there that could automate a big chunk of that work for you?
Okay.
Freeing up your time and brain power to focus on that creative stuff.
Yeah.
And not just any tools, but ones that could potentially revolutionize your entire SEO game.
Okay, now you've got my attention.
Tell me more.
Yeah, tell me more.
So today's deep dive is all about two powerful allies in the fight for online visibility, Screaming Frog and Hobo SF.
Okay.
Ever heard of them?
Screaming Frog rings a bell.
Okay.
Isn't that a website crawler?
You're spot on.
Okay.
With Screaming Frog.
Okay, cool.
It's like that friend who loves to explore every nook and cranny, except instead of dusty attics, it's meticulously mapping out every corner of your website.
Okay. I'm picturing it now, diligently following every link, analyzing every image.
Yes.
Creating a complete picture of your website structure.
Yes.
But where does Hobo SF come in?
So think of Screaming Frog as the detective gathering all the evidence.
Yep.
And Hobo SF is the brilliant analyst back at HQ,
Right.
taking all that raw data and transforming it into actionable insights.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So it's not just about identifying problems. It's about providing solutions.
You got it. We're talking detailed reports,
Okay.
prioritized to-do lists,
Uh-huh.
even automated alerts, all designed to help you improve your website's SEO and user experience.
Okay, so it's like having a whole team of SEO experts working behind the scenes.
Yes.
But without the hefty price tag.
Precisely. And the best part is,
Okay.
this dynamic duo is surprisingly accessible, even if you're not a tech whiz. Screaming Frog as the detective gathering all the evidence.
Yep.
And Hobo SF is the brilliant analyst back at HQ,
Right.
taking all that raw data and transforming it into actionable insights.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So it's not just about identifying problems. It's about providing solutions.
You got it. We're talking detailed reports,
Okay.
prioritized to-do lists,
Uh-huh.
even automated alerts, all designed to help you improve your website's SEO and user experience.
Okay, so it's like having a whole team of SEO experts working behind the scenes.
Yes.
But without the hefty price tag.
Precisely. And the best part is,
Okay.
this dynamic duo is surprisingly accessible, even if you're not a tech whiz.
Well, now I'm really curious to unpack this.
Okay.
Let's dive into the specifics.
Okay.
How exactly do Screaming Frog and Hobo SF work together?
Imagine this. You set Screaming Frog loose on your website, scheduling regular crawls like a weekly or monthly checkup.
Okay.
This little digital explorer scours your site, checking for anything and everything that might be affecting its performance.
Okay, so Screaming Frog is off on its merry way, crawling through our website and gathering all of this data.
Yes.
What happens next?
Okay.
Where does Hobo SF step in?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Hobo SF swoops in
Okay.
and grabs all those juicy details from Screaming Frog's crawl reports. But here's the kicker.
Okay.
It doesn't just dump a mountain of data in your lap.
Okay.
Hobo SF is all about turning that raw information into something you can actually use.
Okay, so instead of spending hours deciphering spreadsheets,
Right.
Hobo SF presents the findings in a way that's clear, concise,
Yes.
and dare I say, even a little bit fun.
Exactly. It's like having that super organized friend
Right.
who color codes their notes and uses highlighters strategically. But in this case, it's all about making SEO feel less overwhelming
Right.
and way more approachable.
Okay, color-coded SEO reports.
Yeah.
I'm sold. But let's talk specifics.
Okay.
What kind of issues can these tools actually uncover?
Oh, where do we even begin? Remember that time you poured your heart into writing an amazing blog post,
Oh, yeah.
only to discover it was buried on page 10 of your site's search results?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, that's...
It's like my writing went into a black hole.
Well, Hobo SF is here to shine a light on those hidden gems.
Okay.
It can help you identify those underperforming pages, figure out why they're not getting the traffic they deserve,
Right.
and give you concrete steps to boost their visibility.
So it's not just about finding problems.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the why behind them.
Yes.
And getting personalized recommendations.
Yes.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like having a customized SEO strategy session.
Right.
But instead of paying a consultant hundreds of dollars, you've got Screaming Frog and Hobo SF working tirelessly behind the scenes.
This is starting to sound too good to be true.
I know, right?
Are there any other SEO headaches these tools can help us alleviate?
You bet. Let's talk about broken links for a second.
Okay.
Have you ever clicked on a link only to be met with that dreaded 404 page not found error?
Ugh. The worst.
Yeah.
It's like hitting a dead end when you're trying to get somewhere important.
Exactly. And it's not just frustrating for visitors, it can also hurt your SEO.
Oh, yeah.
But fear not, because Screaming Frog is like a bloodhound when it comes to sniffing out those broken links.
So no more manually checking every single link on our website.
No more.
That's a huge time saver.
You got it. And it's not just broken links. Screaming Frog and Hobo SF can also uncover a whole host of other issues.
Okay, such as
like missing image descriptions.
image descriptions. Those are important for SEO.
You bet they are. They're officially called alt text,
Okay.
and they serve two really important purposes. First, they help search engines understand what your images are about,
Right.
which can boost your rankings.
Right.
But here's the even cooler part.
Okay.
Alt text is also crucial for accessibility.
Really?
Yeah. People who are visually impaired use screen readers to navigate the web,
Right.
and alt text provides that context for images.
Oh, wow. So by using these tools to identify missing image descriptions,
Yes.
we're not just boosting our SEO.
Yeah, so-
We're making our websites more inclusive for everyone.
Exactly. And Hobo SF doesn't just flag the missing descriptions.
Oh, wow.
It can actually suggest relevant alt text based on the content of the page.
Talk about a time saver.
Oh, no, right?
Okay, you mentioned a whole host of issues these tools can uncover.
Yes.
Anything else we should be aware of?
Well, this might sound like a small detail,
Yeah.
but it can make a big difference.
Okay.
Screaming Frog can actually detect errors in page numbering sequences.
Page numbering sequences.
Yes.
Now that sounds incredibly specific.
It is very specific.
Yeah,
But think about it. Have you ever been on a website where the page numbers were all over the place?
I have.
Like somehow page 3 is listed before page 2.
And it's incredibly frustrating. It makes me question the credibility of the entire website.
Exactly. And it can confuse search engines too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hobo SF makes sure your site provides a smooth, logical experience
Okay.
by flagging any inconsistencies in those page numbers.
It's all about the details, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to realize that SEO is about so much more than just keywords.
You're getting it. It's about creating a website that's not only discoverable,
Right.
but also enjoyable and easy to navigate for everyone. Okay, so we've talked about how Screaming Frog and Hobo SF can crawl our websites, identify SEO issues, and even automate reports.
Yeah,
But information is only powerful
Yeah.
if we actually use it right.
exactly.
And that's where the reporting side of these tools really shines.
Okay, reporting.
Yes.
Talk to me because, honestly, who has time to create detailed SEO reports every week?
I know, right?
It's like a whole other job.
It really is.
Yeah.
But picture this.
Okay.
You open your inbox on Monday morning,
Okay.
and there It is a beautifully formatted report with all the key SEO insights for your website.
Wait, are you saying I can automate these reports?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hobo SF lets you schedule reports to be generated and sent directly to you or your clients on autopilot.
Okay, now that's what I call working smarter, not harder.
Right.
Imagine the time and energy we could save.
So much time, so much energy.
Yeah.
And these aren't just dry, static documents.
Okay.
Hobo SF creates dynamic, interactive reports that let you drill down into specific issues,
Oh, wow.
track your progress over time, and even visualize your data with charts and graphs.
So it's like having a live dashboard for your website's SEO.
Yes.
Constantly updating and providing actionable insights.
You got it. And because Hobo SF lives inside Google Sheets,
Okay.
it's easy to collaborate with team members or clients,
Right.
share feedback, and track everyone's progress.
This is incredible.
I know, right?
But let's address the elephant in the room. All of this sounds pretty high-tech.
Okay.
Is it going to take us months to learn how to use these tools?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But honestly, both Screaming Frog and Hobo SF are designed with user-friendliness in mind.
Okay.
The learning curve is surprisingly manageable.
Plus, didn't the article mention something about this being an indie hacker project?
It did.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really good thing.
Okay.
Indie hacker basically means it's built by a small team or even a solo developer who is super passionate about solving a specific problem.
So it's not about corporate bureaucracy and profit margins.
All right.
It's about creating a tool that truly makes a difference for people like us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because these indie hackers are often users themselves,
Right.
they understand the pain points and are usually very responsive to feedback,
Okay.
constantly updating and improving their products.
That's a refreshing change from some of the clunky corporate software out there.
Right. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about how Screaming Frog and Hobo SF can crawl our websites,
Yes.
identify SEO issues, and even automate reports.
Right.
But what does it all boil down to?
Okay.
Why should our listener care about any of this?
Because in today's digital landscape, a well-optimized website is no longer a luxury.
Right.
It's a necessity.
It is.
And these tools empower you to take control of your online presence, attract more visitors,
Yeah.
and ultimately achieve your business goals.
Exactly. It's about leveling the playing field, whether you're a seasoned SEO pro or just starting out.
And beyond the technical aspects,
Yeah.
it's about creating a website that is truly user-friendly, accessible, and enjoyable for everyone who visits.
Well said. So to our listener, if you're ready to unlock the full potential of your website and make SEO feel less like a chore and more like a competitive advantage,
Right.
Screaming Frog and Hobo SF are definitely worth checking out.
Absolutely. And remember, SEO is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
That's a good point.
Yeah, these tools provide the insights and automation you need to stay ahead of the curve.
Right.
But it's your creativity and understanding of your audience that will truly make your website shine. We've got actual stuff from the tools website right here.
Like we're getting a peek behind the curtain. Always good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so they describe this Hobo SF multi-site as a complete SEO auditing system built in Google Sheets.
Okay, Google Sheets. So that's interesting right off the bat. Most people have used those love-hate relationship, maybe. But powerful.
For sure. So that kind of grabbed my attention. But then it says it uses Screaming Frog files. And I'm like, Screaming Frog, is that even SEO anymore? So that's kind of intense.
Yeah, Screaming Frog. Not exactly a beginner term. It's actually a really well-known website crawler, like the industry standard for a lot of SEO pros.
Okay, so like it crawls through your site and tells you what's up.
Exactly. It digs into all the data, your pages, your links, the whole structure. And then you use that data to figure out how to make things better, optimize everything.
Gotcha. So this tool takes that Screaming Frog info and puts it into a Google Sheet. Why is that a big deal?
Because then you can actually do something with it, especially if you've got multiple websites you're trying to manage. See, the website says it helps you prioritize your web development tasks and predict your budget spend and estimated timescales. That's huge.
Yeah, if you're working with a team on these massive projects. And they even say that teams, like this tool is laser focused on, quote, web development teams to manage multiple sites.
This isn't for someone just starting out with their little blog. This is serious SEO stuff.
Definitely. So we're starting to get a picture of who this is for. But what about if it actually works? Well, they've got this testimonial right on the homepage, and it just says, Hobo SF Sheets is a beast.
Okay, strong words, testimonials can be tricky. Got to take them with a grain of salt. But beast, that's pretty enthusiastic, you know? And it says it's from an early bird purchase.
Oh, interesting. So someone who is like really ready to jump on this.
Exactly. They probably already knew they had this problem and were looking for a solution. And it gets even more specific. The testimonial talks about detailed technical audits and working with the dev team.
Right. They're speaking directly to that audience we were talking about, the people who are already knee-deep in the technical side of SEO.
And those are the people who really feel the pain of trying to manage all this stuff across multiple websites.
Totally. All right, so for a lot of people, the make or break is going to be the price tag, right? Yeah. And on the website, it says Hobo SF for Google Sheets costs only GBP $199.
Only? That's doing some heavy lifting there.
Right.
Just for the techies out there.
Not at all.
This is for anyone with a website, really.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
You could have the best online store, right? Amazing products. But if it takes forever to load.
Forget it.
Or people can't find what they're looking for, they're gone.
On to the next one.
Exactly. And that's where SEO comes in. Make sure your website is, well, it's the life of the party.
Instead of that one awkward guest no one wants to talk to.
Exactly. Fast, easy to navigate, all the good stuff.
Okay, so let's get into it. We've got this SEO audit in front of us, right? For hoboweb.co.uk.
Okay.
It's like getting a peek behind the curtain. Seeing how Google sees this website.
It's like a report card almost.
Yeah, but instead of grades, it's all about rankings.
And this audit is comprehensive. It digs deep into all sorts of technical stuff, the stuff Google uses to rank a website.
But we're talking, what, core web vitals?
Yeah, core web vitals, mobile friendliness, all of it.